is a proud sponsor of Rockwall County Game Day. Shop the Rock and score game-changing savings on our all-American lineup of new Fords. Shop our entire inventory online at rockwallford.com or build your truck your way at preordermyf150.com.
But 100% like in our corner.
Very thorough. They cover everything. They're there for you every step of the way.
It was just great. I felt really taken care of.
Hardworking, trustworthy, and very, very effective.
Hello and welcome to More Than Just a Game. Good evening. I know it's a little late, but we are going to do a playoff show tonight. I appreciate you guys joining in this late. We put this together a little bit late, but hey, we're going to go for it. Let me bring in Mr. Branch here. Let's see if I can do this right. Give me just a moment. I'm figuring it out. All right, there we go. You there, Mr. Branch?
I'm here, man. What's going on?
Hey, man. Good to see you. Thanks for doing this with me late.
Yeah. Happy to do it, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a really crazy week for me. I'm headed out of town tomorrow morning, so I've been getting a lot set up for Dallas Christian. We're doing a pregame and a halftime show over there, so been trying to put a lot together, but I finally at a place where I feel like we're good. So I thought, hey, let's do a show. Let's talk a little Heath football, a little Rockwall football. So for those joining in, at about 10, 15 minutes, we're going to have a couple of Heath players calling in. Eli Henley on the defensive side of the football for Heath, and then Caleb Hoover, the quarterback for the Hawks, will be calling in, and we're going to chat with them a little bit about their upcoming playoff game against Saxe. They'll play on the road tomorrow night, and that certainly should be a good game. And then probably about 20 minutes after that, we'll talk a little Rockwall football. And, of course, they'll be home versus Wiley this week. And, yeah, we got a lot of good football. Got my Jackson Smith and Jigba football sign there. So certainly got to looking to give those away soon enough. A little bit behind on some of the fundraisers, but there they are. On that board behind me, 817-201-1109. We're gonna take some guests. I don't know if we have a bunch of people calling in. I probably won't be able to get to everyone, but if you text me, I'll send you a link. And if you put your name in when you click that link, I will certainly try to get you in on the show if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts on the upcoming games. Mr. Branch, what you up to this evening?
Man, hey, it's funny that when you called me, so my oldest, Harley, had his UT Tyler med school interview today.
Oh.
And so he spent all day at UT Tyler doing his med school interview. It's his first one. He's trying to get into medical school. He wants to be a trauma surgeon. So he just got back, and we've been talking, and he's been going through all that, man, way over my head. I just talk football. So
and you also do a little live broadcasting at some youth football games now, I'm seeing.
Yeah, man. I have so much fun doing that. And I think that's what makes it so easy, man, is I just go up there, I have fun, I play music, I give the kids nicknames. They don't even ask. I just give them nicknames, and they hear it for the first time over the microphone. So it's so funny. I love giving back to the community, man, and just having fun. That's what it's all about.
Well, while we got a few minutes, this segment brought to you by Rockwall Ford and rockwallford.com. Shop the Rock. We appreciate Jeff Hicks and everything that they do for us. Let's just talk about the Roy City Bulldogs really quickly. And they obviously fell short this year, and there was a lot of probably some rebuilding and some learning for that program. But seems to be, always a solid athletic program all the way around when you look at what the girls did in volleyball. And unfortunately they bowed out a little early. But hey, uh, you still at the end of the day want to applaud these kids for their effort and the coaches for doing the best that they had for with those kids. But I just thought I'd give you an opportunity to talk about Royce City and hopefully what's coming up in the future.
Yeah, first shout out to the girls volleyball team, the Lady Dogs. First time they had made it to the area round in volleyball in some like over 10 years or something like that. So big shout out to them, man. That was awesome. And super, super, super proud of them. Yeah, so the Bulldogs. This was a letdown year, no doubt about it. Um, it's interesting. I said this in our last show when they were getting ready to go and play against Mesquite Horn. I think they were going to have to do some soul searching. They're going to have to figure out what they want to be and what they want to do and what their legacy is. And I think they're graduating a whole lot of seniors this year. Their entire offensive line, all made up of seniors. They've got their two wide receivers, Obrama and Jacorian, are seniors. They've got their defensive line, with the exception of their defensive end, Hudson Hayes, I believe, are seniors. So they are graduating more this year than I think they did last year. Last year we graduated a lot of skill players. This year they're graduating a lot of their line. And the offensive line, man, was where it was at. So they're going to have a lot of work to do over the summer. And I think spending some time with the coaches. I had an opportunity to spend some time with Coach Lancaster, the defensive coordinator, at the end of the year. His son played little league ball, so we got a chance to talk after some of those games on Saturday nights. And all the coaches kind of echoed the same thing when I got to talk to them. And so, man, they've got to rebuild. But I think they also the kids coming up, man. I think they're gonna have to do some soul searching, and they're gonna have to figure out where they want to go. Look, we're not going down. When the realignment comes, I would not be surprised if we don't move into D1.
Yeah, and I haven't
The
seen the
school
numbers
district
yet.
is growing. Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers yet for Royce City. I know that they're up. They're higher than they were last year. I don't know what that number is. Um, if we're not in D1, we'll be at the top of D2. So, look, we are where we are. So we're going to have to figure out how to develop the players, get the players in here, and build a team that's going to be able to compete.
Yeah.
And I think that look, they're gonna have they've got a lot of work to do over the summer. There's no doubt about it, man.
Yeah.
And Coach Petrov's been here a long time. Coach Oliver, Lancaster, they can do it. It's just I think what it really boils down to, man, and I kind of got this sentiment from the coaches there towards the end of the season. Look, they put a scheme in place. They had a game plan. The kids have to go out and execute. You can say what you want about the game plan. Everybody has their opinion, right? But at the end of the day, you have to go out and execute. You gotta get rid of the foolish penalties. That Mesquite Horn game was tough, man. And the ending of that game was super disappointing. It was cut off of NFHS, but it was a pretty bad, nasty, situation. So, we just have to do better.
Yeah. Yeah, and hey, listen, I'm a big fan of the Roy City community and everything they have going on, all the coaches over there, and all the leadership that they have. And I have no doubt, hey, they're just going through a little bit of hard times, but I'm confident, and nobody needs my vote of confidence, but just knowing the coaches and knowing that school and the pride that they have. It's just going to take some time, and they got to figure things out, and they'll be back. The Bulldogs will be back, and certainly football is just one
for
sport,
sure.
but they're still,
And you got the AD there, Coach Bookout. He's a great athletic director, and Coach Petroff is a great coach, and so they've got what they need,
Yeah.
right? They've just got to they really what it boils down to is they're rebuilding, man.
Right.
They've got a lot of kids, so they're gonna have to. They've got a. My opinion, Chris, is they've got more work to do this summer than they had to do last summer.
Yeah.
I really believe that because they're, you know, they had to do a little bit of rebuilding on the skill side this time. Well, they did well with Cockcroft. He was a great running back. He'll be there again next year. You've got Jace as your quarterback. I think it is what it is, right? Drake MacGyver is a senior this year who just signed yesterday, as a matter of fact, to go play baseball. Um, so that's your quarterback. So now you're going to have to build the offensive line, and so they've got a lot of work to do over the summertime.
Yeah. Well, certainly we're looking forward to seeing if they're up to the task. And, my money is,
Yeah.
that whether it's next year or the year after, I think they're going to find a way to get things right. So, and
Yeah.
congratulations to all the guys and girls that signed yesterday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it out to all the schools. I made it out to Rockwall only because it was, to be quite honest, it was later. It was 8:45.
Yep.
And I had a parent reach out and ask me to be there, and always love that when they call and reach out. And of course, I was going to make that happen. So congrats! A lot of big signings all over the place. You look at pole vaulting because it comes to mind.
Yeah.
Jacelyn Neighbors, and then across the way over at Heath, Dyson. They both are going to go to Nebraska to pole vault, so that's just amazing. A lot of good kids doing amazing things this year.
Yeah, it was crazy when we all followed her journey through all the SEC schools and then the Big 12 and then to Nebraska. I really had no idea. I'm a huge SEC guy, so I want everybody to sign with the SEC, right? That's just who I am. And when she signed with Nebraska, I was kind of surprised, but the fact that she's got a friend already there pole vaulting, so I could see how it makes sense. Shout out to Gardella, Haley Gardella, catcher for the Bulldogs. She's going to Harding. She signed there, and she's a fantastic softball player, great catcher. That was a big win for Harding, I think. You got Hayden Tanksley signed with Odessa with UT Permian Basin. Man, he was a great football player, even better baseball player. And then you got MacGyver, who's signed in baseball. I don't remember exactly where he went, but he's a good baseball player too. So shout out to all four of them signing. I mean, I knew a lot of people don't understand how making it just to a college. It doesn't matter if it's D1, 2, or 3 or NAIA. Man, it is so hard to even make it to that next level. So, man, a huge shout out to all the kids. Rockwall, I saw some of the girls sign in to go play soccer, and man, it's awesome. I mean, big shout out to them. I'm just super impressed with all the kids in the county.
All right, hey, let's do this. I got a couple of guys in the waiting room. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk a little Heath football. I got Caleb Hoover and Eli Henley waiting. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're going to talk a little Heath football.
Rockwall Ford is a proud sponsor of Rockwall County Game Day. Shop the Rock and score game-changing savings on our all-American lineup of new Fords. Shop our entire inventory online at rockwallford.com or build your truck your way at preordermyf150.com.
But 100% like in our corner.
Very thorough. They cover everything. They're there for you every step of the way.
It was just great. I felt really taken care of.
Hardworking, trustworthy, and very, very effective.
All right, we are back. Let me see if I can get everyone in here. Let's see how this works. Let's see. Bear with me just a moment. There's one. There's two. And there's 3. Let's move this over. And you know what? Let's get this out of the way. Caleb, Eli,
Yeah,
can you
get that
guys hear
out
me?
of there, man. What are we doing?
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Eli, Caleb.
Yeah, I
Yes,
hear you.
sir.
Okay, perfect, man. Hey, thanks for joining the show. We'll talk a little Heath football. We haven't had the opportunity to catch up with you guys this year. Heath will play at Saxe tomorrow night. They play a Saxe team that's 8-2. They finish 8-0 in district. The Hawks finish 8-2 and 5-1 in district. They've won their last 5 games, and these 2 gentlemen have a lot to do with it. Guys, thanks for joining the show, and how's everything going? And appreciate you coming on with a short notice.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem.
It's going good.
Yeah.
Let's start on the defensive side of the ball. Mr. Eli Henley, senior, 89 tackles, 12 for a loss. You've got a touchdown. This defense, the last 5 games, given up just 37 points in a district that likes to score points. Pretty impressive.
Sure.
I'd like to get your thoughts on this defense and how you guys have come together.
Well, I mean, it just starts with practice. We've been practicing really hard week in, week out, and that obviously plays a big role on Friday night.
Your leadership on this defense, of course, there's quite a few guys, when you look at Brady Luff but I'd just like to get, your thoughts on, how you guys have been able to come together under this new coaching staff and how fun it's been to work with Coach Webb.
We just we lost against Rockwell, and we were just like we just didn't like losing, so we kind of just turned things up. It's been go mode from there.
On the defensive side of the ball, this entire unit, how important have the coaches made it a point to say, hey, let's go out and win it on the defensive side of the ball and give our offense a chance to win some ball games.
I mean, that's been the objective the whole season, and it just took us to after the Rockwell game to kind of connect and be able to do our thing out there.
You personally, I'd like to know how much fun you've been having this season, on this team.
Oh, it's been great. It's been so much fun. Just being able to play linebacker again and be the leader of the defense, it just feels great.
And then finally, Eli, I want to ask you about this offense and the job that Dutka did, coming in when Caleb was away, but just the job that Malachi's done running the ball and Fletcher, leading the team receptions. Just how proud are you of the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I think our offense is doing really good this year. I think we're still waiting on them to click, but they've been doing their job, so can't ask for much more.
James, you got anything for these guys?
Yeah, man. Talk a little bit about I've been high on you guys all year long, and I said it every single week that I felt like you guys were getting better and better and better each week. Talk a little bit about how from week to week the attitude, how you guys are practicing. I mean, how has it been this season with Coach Webb being there for the first year? How's the mentality? How's the attitude? Is it how are you guys doing? Are y'all having fun? Is practice pretty intense? How does all that go down?
Well,
We're having a lot of fun
you
out
got
there.
go ahead, Eli.
We're having a lot of fun out there. The mentality is just go win and go hit somebody in their face, really, on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Caleb, give it a go.
You guys, you're getting a little bit better each week. Is that kind of what you study? Every Saturday when you go out, when you guys go in to watch film, you come up with the next game plan, and everybody's. It seems like everybody has bought into the program. Is that where everybody's head is at? Is they're 100% focused and ready to go?
Yeah, for sure. That definitely helps a lot with the success we've had these past few weeks.
We're talking with Heath football players Caleb Hoover and Eli Henley. And of course, this segment brought to you by Vice Henley and Dilbeck, attorneys and counselors at law. We really appreciate their support. Caleb, I'll give you an opportunity here. You come in, you off the injury, and Dutka's got to come in and fill the shoes at quarterback position. I want to give you an opportunity really quickly just to talk about the job he did for this team while you were away.
Yeah, he did a great job stepping in, and he got his opportunity. He took every advantage of it that he could. I think everyone's kind of curious how he's going to respond to that. If it was going to be one of those pressure moments that got too big, and it most certainly wasn't. He responded great, came in, did his job, gave us a chance to win in every game he played in. So you couldn't ask for more from him. So really proud of him.
James.
Man, give us something on Coach Webb that we can give him a hard time about next year. Is there something funny about him or something quirky he does that we can use on him next year? Give us a little bit of dirt on Coach Webb.
Well, I think yesterday Coach Webb gave his first high five of the year. I don't know if there's going to be a high
Is
five
that
before
right?
He gave one. Yeah, he gave one to
So
Jack
what is
Warren
that?
yesterday on a. I don't know.
How do you get a high five?
I don't know why. I don't know. He just ran his little screen route and apparently ran it the best one he's ever seen. So he got a high five for it. No, I think everyone else trying to figure out how they can get their high five. But yeah.
Caleb,
how is it playing?
Go ahead, James.
How is it playing for Coach Webb? He's kind of I don't know if he's a legend, but he's obviously a very well known coach. How's it playing for him, man? How's a day in the life of Caleb Hoover and Eli Henley at practice, and how is it playing with him, or playing for him?
It's great. It's he's a true he's a player's coach. He's there for us and everything that we need and all that good stuff. But he's not. I'd say he's a little more old school. Not necessarily going to be your best friend, but he's gonna respect you. He's going to expect the same respect from you towards him. I think the whole team respects him a whole lot. I think that's the reason that we've done so well this year and will continue to do well is because of that respect and the boundaries that we have set up. It's not like just say anything you want to him. It's not like that kind of relationship. It's we all have a great respect for him and what he does for this program. What he has done. Like you said, he's a legend. He's been done this for a long time in Texas high school football, and so I think everybody recognizes that, and we're always excited for the chance to get to play for him.
Caleb, this team, finishes 8-2, 5-1 in district, and we've seen a lot of these teams like North Forney and Title Legacy, and them being able to impose their will on the offensive side and really score some points. But you guys were able to hold them to very few points. Just overall as the season unfolded, especially after the loss to Rockwall. Just what was that mindset that was like, okay, it's time for us to let everybody know that we're still here in this district and we're here to play.
Yeah, I think that loss to Rockwall was a huge turning point in our season. Obviously, I didn't get to play. It was probably one of the toughest games of my life. One of the hardest things I had to go through, which may sound a little cliche, but I think any athlete would understand that. Senior year and I get to play against your rival. But that was tough, man. I had to watch all my brothers go out there and fight, and I had to be a part of that fight. So I think at that moment, whenever I got to come back and you kind of got to flip the switch a little bit, the defense played the biggest role in that, in my opinion. They've been a force to be reckoned with for sure. Like Coach Webb says, they've been the schoolyard bullies. So they've imposed their will on just about anybody they wanted, and showed why they're the best defense in the district, and likely the best defense in the state. And teams are going to continue to struggle trying to score points on them. I think that's our backbone of our team. You got a good defense, you got a great team. Our offense, like Eli said, we haven't really clicked yet like we wanted to. We've had good halves, but we haven't had a good full games yet. I think we're looking to have one of those tomorrow night.
The offense, we're talking with Heath football, as you can see at the bottom, Caleb Hoover and Eli Henley, a couple of Hawks joining the show. Caleb, you've first off, how are you feeling?
I feel great. The last week broke my first long run in the season for a touchdown, so the knee feels good. Mentally, it's probably the most prepared that I've been for a game. I feel like the coach did a great job getting our team prepared, and a lot of film this week. And Saxby, they're a good team, and just like anybody, they're beatable. We got to come out, we got to play our game, but I feel really confident tomorrow.
You said you broke a long run. I remember at the TCU game, Josh said that he can outrun you, and he said that he can take you down in a run.
No,
Are you about
yeah,
ready to chase him down?
yeah, I'm about ready to race him. He was at the game too because they played on Thursday, so he was at the game last week, and yeah, I think we can line it up whenever he wants. I'll smoke him.
You hit on it just a little bit. Let me ask you about Saxy. Obviously, on the road, and you're going to play a team that hasn't lost a game in more than a few weeks. They're 8-0 in the last 8 weeks. But just the mindset and how the week of practice went for you guys.
Yeah, we know they're on a roll right now. They're going 8-0. We've gone 5-0 our last 5 games, so we're both kind of on a winning streak, you could say. And the big thing for us is going to be momentum. Who can get momentum early? Who can get it quick? Who can score fast? And who can stop them on defense? So that's what we're going to try to do. We're going to try to score a lot of points as quickly as we can, and just kind of get the momentum on our side and keep it the whole game. They got a good team. Got some good guys on defense that feel like we're going to have to make plays like always. And I think we got a bunch of playmakers who can do that. So we feel good.
James?
Yeah, so I looked at their schedule and I looked at the teams they played and the teams they lost to. They're definitely a good team, but I've been high on you guys all year, man, and I feel like you guys match up pretty well. They beat the teams that they really should have beaten, and I think they lost to the teams they probably should. I think they lost to Prosper, second game of the season. So I definitely think you guys match up good with them. What are some of the keys to the game, guys? What do you have to do to go out there and take these guys down?
Eli, you want to answer for
You got
defense?
No, you got it, Caleb.
I just say that the big keys for on the offense side of the ball is, like I said, just score early and score often. We got to come out with a fire under our tail and be ready to play. We can't, not a team you can take lightly, not a team you can wait around till the second quarter to start getting your things going. We got to come out quick and we got to come out hot, and that's we know that all week and we've practiced like that, and I think we're gonna be ready to do that.
Eli, what's
Nice.
been
Well,
the message from the team, from the coaches, just to get ready for this week?
Just be a great communicator and let them know that you're there early and that they're not going to score any points. That's really what it comes down to.
James, you got anything else?
Well, I just want to say for the record, guys, that I picked you guys
This
over
is official
Rockwall.
now.
Yeah, and so Batman did not pick you guys. Batman picked Rockwall. I believe that I picked you to win. So when you guys get to the next level, and I'm maybe looking for a picture and an autograph down the road, because hey, I just want y'all to know I've rode with you pretty much all year long.
Hey,
We appreciate that.
I was right there.
Thank you.
I don't. Batman's views are not mine; those are his and his alone. So hey, I'm always there pulling for the Hawks. I love Caleb and big fan of Eli, and yeah, it's a fun team to watch. It's a little different because defense is something in 10-6A that doesn't get talked about enough. And when you see what you guys are doing, just allowing 37 points over the last 5 games, again, it's been very impressive. So job well done to you guys and the coaching staff.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm really proud of you guys, man, for bouncing back this year. You got a first year coach again. It's Coach Webb, but it's still his first year, and I'm real proud of you guys. I'm flying with the Eagles with the Hawks tomorrow night, and I believe you guys can take care of business, man.
Hey, the Eagles
Thank
do
you.
play tomorrow too. The HCA 6-man football team. So you're on there. Yeah, just the birds around here that'll work. Guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was fun. Good luck to you guys, and we look forward to recapping that game and talking about round 2.
Appreciate it. Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
sir. Thank you.
All right, y'all have a good night. Hey, that's gonna. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little Rockwall football. Caleb and Eli, have a good night.
But 100% like in our corner.
Very thorough. They cover everything. They're there for you every step of the way.
It was just great. I felt really taken care of.
Hardworking, trustworthy, and very, very effective.
Rockwall Ford is a proud sponsor of Rockwall County Game Day. Shop the Rock and score game-changing savings on our all-American lineup of new Fords. Shop our entire inventory online at rockwall4.com or build your truck your way at preordermyf150.com.
I'm a one.
And hey, we're back. Let's get James back in here, if I can do this correctly, and I did it correctly. And James, let me switch out the hat here, because it's time to talk a little Rockwall Yellow Jacket football. Rockwall, they come in. They're going to play at home versus a Wiley team that's 6-4, 5-3 in district. Rockwall comes in 9-1, 6-0 in district. They've just been solid all year, like we thought they would be. And now their playoff run starts Friday night. Just I'd like to get your thoughts on this team going forward. Oh, hang on, I got you. You're muted here. There we go. Gotcha.
All right. Well, before we take the Rockwall, did you see in the second round Duncanville versus Hutto? If when the Hawks get that W tomorrow night, they got a second round matchup that is going to be tough.
Let me tell you something. Before we get to Rockwall football and about that Duncanville team, obviously they need to take business versus Saxe, but Duncanville took a loss versus DeSoto, and you got to wonder what that will do to that team, knowing hey, it's like the Rocky IV movie when Drago gets cut. You see, he's not a machine, right?
Yep.
They're beatable, and if you go back not too long ago when Rockwall played Allen, and Allen was the big bad beast, Rockwall wasn't supposed to win that game, and they go in there and they win a big game. So it can certainly happen, and when you got a defensive team, that can do a lot for you. So hey. I'm looking forward to the matchup. I'm looking forward to that test if it comes, and I believe it will come. And also, Coach Webb's been there. He's been in some big time games. He's played some big time teams. He understands, what that task would be, and I think the Hawks would put up a big fight. And if we're looking at some recent history of Heath versus Duncanville. The basketball playoff game that happened between Heath and Duncanville a couple years ago, and Duncanville came in, obviously, rightfully so, probably as the big dog, and they were supposed to just roll through Heath, and Heath was, I believe, maybe down a point, or with just under a minute to go. So Heath, I don't think is going to be afraid of Duncanville if that game happens.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I just wanted to throw that out there before we made it over to the next one, because that's going to be fun. So yeah, Wiley Rockwall. Wiley sneaks in that fourth spot in District 9. They obviously they lost to Saxe and some of these other schools. Look, I think Rockwall goes out, if they take care of business, they do what they've continued to do all year long. I think they're going to be just fine. And again, anybody can lose at any time. But look, I think Rockwall, if they just stay focused, we know they're going to stay focused. They go in there, Coach Brooks will have them ready. They take care of their business against Wiley, and then they move on. And the second round of that matchup is Waxahachie versus Hewitt Midway.
Yeah.
Waxahachie's, and I don't want to get all the way into the to that next round. But
Yeah, no, I
I
like looking
think
at the brackets. That's what we can do. We can nerd out and look
yeah,
at what's ahead.
yeah. Yeah, but I Rockwall will come out. I think they're going to score a lot of points. I think they'll make a statement like they always do, and they'll be ready to move on to round two. I really believe that.
Yeah, they're so strong at quarterback, and what a job that those coaches did with Landon Locke and Mason Marshall. I mean, Marshall over 1,200 yards, 71% completion, and I believe he had 16 touchdowns to the one interception. Landon Locke, the Wisconsin commit, over 1,500 yards passing, over 60% completion. He had 17 touchdowns to the three interceptions. That's a tough combination for anybody to deal
Yeah.
with, and you never really know who's coming at you, and it's got to be a really tough matchup for some teams coming up in their way.
Well, and I still say that our district is one of the toughest districts, out there. So I think that gives us an advantage, Rockwall Heath, Rockwall, Royce City. If you can run the gamut and get into the playoffs in that one or two spot, man, or if you can get up into that one and two spot, dude, I feel like you've got a chance to compete with anybody. And so I feel good about Rockwall versus Wiley. I think they're going to take care of business. So I'm not at all. I think they're playing at what, Homer B. Johnson Stadium, I think, or is that a?
Where
I
Rockwall?
think that's what I
No, they're
saw.
playing at home.
Or oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
they're playing at
then
home. Yeah,
that's all.
yeah, even
Yeah.
better
So
for the Yellow Jackets. Yeah, I think Rockwall. From what we talk about when we talk about Mason Marshall and Landon Locke, I mean, they're running the ball. They're running the ball strong,
yep.
and the job that Ashton Emery's done and that offensive line has done. They're just a really really good unit, and you can go down the line. When you talk about some of those offensive linemen, and certainly Mr. Caven, he comes to mind. Mr. Wells comes to mind. I mean, there's just some dudes on that offensive line that understand the assignment. And when you get Ashton or Parker running behind there, I mean they're just they're very very dangerous. And if they can start running the ball in the playoffs and get the defense think and run, that's a deadly combination when you got those two quarterbacks.
And man, it seems like they've got the perfect storm. They've got not one but two quarterbacks. They've got running backs. They've got receivers. They've got a plethora of talent out there, and it's like they just have the perfect storm, man. They put it together, and that tornado comes rolling through. The question is, have we seen their full potential? I know they put up a lot of points, but I'm not 100% sure that we have seen them reach their full potential yet. And if they haven't, holy cow, man, can you imagine making it to the playoffs and now they start clicking like they should?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if the defense, I mean, they've still got a lot to improve on, and I don't think they would say it any different. But um, the tough job for Rockwall is sometimes they get ahead quickly, and they get ahead by a bunch of points, and it's got to be a little hard, you think, for the defense on the defensive side of the ball just to relax because maybe everybody's having a good time and they understand the game's in hand, and some of these points come at the end of the game when it's already in hand, So I think if you look at Rockwall and the points that they've given up on the defensive side, some of it just could be, hey, the game was already in hand, and so it's a little misleading. So I think their defense is probably better statistically than it shows. Yeah, I think they're going to roll through this game, and then that's when it's time to get down to business and you start getting into playing some better teams.
Yeah, I think they put a lot of points tomorrow night. I don't think they have any trouble whatsoever. In fact, this game will probably be over with by halftime. Maybe they can get Landon and some of those guys a little bit of rest. I don't know that that's what you want to do in playoff time, but then again, that's why I'm not the coach. That's why Coach Brooks is out there and he makes those tough decisions. But I think this game is over at halftime. I think they turn around and get Waxahachie next week, and then like you said, we start getting into some better caliber
Some fun
football teams
matchups.
for them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
yeah,
look, I've got the schedule put through, but I think Rockwall can move on through this bracket, you know, as long as they just play good solid football.
yeah, yeah. No, I believe so. I think they just got so much firepower, and they always have firepower, but just something maybe feels a little bit different with this team. And again, I think I've said it all year. I think Rockwall's ready to make that next step, and when I say that, I mean like this coaching staff. I think they're ready to take it to another level. So it's going to be fun to watch this team as they march through the playoffs. And don't forget, if they don't have enough weapons already, the special teams and what Coach Young is doing. I saw it firsthand with North Forney and what they did in that first half on the special team side. A couple of onside kicks, a couple of touchdowns. If just another weapon that teams got to think about.
Well, and I think if you look at the bracket, I think the bracket's set up well for them as well. You've got, Prosper up top, then you've got Duncanville right below there. So you wouldn't potentially see some of, and of course Rockwall already, took on some of those guys. So I think you can get to the third, quarterfinals before you start seeing some of the really bigger, matchups that you're probably looking for. So I think, look, and I think you're right with Rockwall Heath and Duncanville, not to go back and forth, but I think you're right, and you could potentially, see a Rockwall Heath matchup if you make it down
Boom.
make it down the road far enough.
Let's go. Little
I mean,
Rockwall
could you
Heath.
imagine that, man?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, we see it a lot in baseball around here, but to have it in football, oh my goodness, they would need they'd need Jerry World for that game because it would be insane, and I think the
Well, and
DFW
at
would
that
go
point, you
crazy.
need to go ahead and get us passes so we can set up and do a pregame.
Yeah, we would pull out all the stops. We're gonna make anything happen. So, hey, this segment brought to you by M&D Real Estate. We really appreciate all their support that Danny and his wife have given us, and we have the finalist for the Jackson Smith and Jigbo Award coming out this week, and then we've got some details to follow as far as how that award's going to go down. So, really looking forward to having M&D Real Estate a part of that, as they are the presenting sponsor of the Rockwall County Game Day Player of the Year, who obviously the winner of that gets the Jackson Smith and Jigbo Award. So,
And
Mr. Branch, my
when
man,
are we giving that
I
out?
appreciate. What's that?
When are we giving that out?
We haven't set a date just yet. I'm working with Jackson's people to set a date. We're actually looking for a venue that can hold quite a few people. So we're looking at something possibly big. I don't want to make any announcements just yet, but it's going to be a really cool deal. So I'll make sure I get you plenty of notice on that deal.
Absolutely. I mean, he is a little busy right now. I mean,
He is a little busy, and he will be in town in a few weeks at the end of the month to play the Cowboys. And I imagine both
there
of
you
those
go.
teams are going to need a big win at that time. So,
That's right.
Mr. Branch, congratulations to your son, by the way. Remind me again. So he was selected to an all-team or something like that?
He was honorable mention, all conference honorable mention, the ASC conference, and he was a freshman, man. Started every game.
Yeah, big stuff, big stuff. Well, hey man, enjoy the weekend. I'll be looking at some football scores. I'll be part of the DC pregame show tomorrow. I'll be calling in. They'll be running the show with this computer, and I'll be calling in to do an interview with them during that. So look forward to talking to you next week and talking about round 2 for both Rockwall and Heath. Let's go Hawks. Let's go Yellow Jackets. Let's get it done. Thanks for the time. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for our guest tonight, and James, man, I really appreciate you coming through and joining me tonight.
Man, I love it. It's always fun hanging out with you. We've got a good chemistry, and we always have a lot of fun together. So I'll see you next week, man. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.
All right, go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
All right, have a good night.